welcome to the Roy Rogers News Channel and Mayor Best Friends YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Alright, this is the very first joint video that is going to be featured on Roy Rogers News Channel and the Mayor Best Friends YouTube channel. So what this video is going to be about is the troubleshooting with the PokeDex guide. And before I jump into the PokeDex guide, I would like to roll the credits here. So I would like to thank Yabu for helping to organize the wild locations, the move pools, and the evolution lines. Thank you so much, Yabu, for organizing the information from the PokeDex. I would also like to thank Teddy and Demonic Dax for graphing out the starter locations. So thank you so much, Teddy and Demonic Dax. Thank you so much to Devaluke for cleaning up the guide. And I would also like to thank Reeves SM for taking a screenshot of both the Mossy Rock and Icy Rock locations. And I would like to thank Lizanor for early troubleshooting with this guide, and Secret Gen for moving this guide from a work in progress to the guide tavern. Last but certainly not least, thank you so much, Reiners, for helping me document Army and Wormadam's wild locations and evolution trees. Alright, so before I jump into the troubleshooting with this guide, I'm going to encourage you to duplicate this page. And when I link this guide down in the description below, it's going to be on the second page, because for some devices, if you go straight to the first page, then it may not work. So what you need to do is you need to duplicate the second page, and then after you duplicate the second page, then you can go to the first page, and that's where the real fun begins. And this guide may take a little bit to load, but that's because there's a lot of data that has been applied to this guide. Now, while we wait for this guide to load, I would like to say something. This guide has taken months to document, so it has been a pleasure working on this guide. And when I completed my in-game Pokedex, I thought to myself, I want to help people complete their Pokedexes as well. So that is why I decided to make the Pokedex guide. And I should put a little caveat here. This guide may be done as of the time of this taping, but as long as the Pokemon franchise continues to make more generations, so as of the time of this taping, we're at Generation 8 now. So once we move to Generation 9, Generation 10, etc., this guide is not truly done because the move pools may be slightly adjusted for modern standards. So that way, when players of the official Pokemon franchise come on PokeMMO, it won't be so jarring for them. They can say, oh yeah, I can learn Ember at this certain level. So I'd like to thank the development team for making the lives of so many players a lot easier. So thank you so much. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into our Pokedex troubleshooting. So let's go ahead and discuss the Pokedex guide. Alright, there's the brief introduction here. And here is our first troubleshooting message that I have here. So I duplicated the second page of the Pokedex guide. If you duplicate the first page, it may not work for you. So make sure you duplicate the second page before you go to the first page. Alright. And what I decided to do was list all the egg groups, so that way you can do Control F, and you can just put in, and I used humanoid as an example, but let's go ahead and do this again. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this. And these are the exact names of the egg groups in game. So in other words, you're going to get the exact list, and you can do this for page 2 as well. Alright, that pretty much that carries over, but just for the sake of this, of the troubleshooting, there you go. And you could just look through the humanoid egg breeders and you can search for a Pokemon that you would like to catch. And then you may be able to decipher some egg moves from looking at this as well. So, yeah, so as a brief example, so Mankey is field, right? And Absol is also field. Now, Mankey learns Night Slash via an egg move, but Absol learns Night Slash naturally. So you can breed a male Absol with a female Mankey, and then your baby Mankey is going to learn Night Slash. That's just a brief example of how you can decipher certain egg moves. Alright, so there we go. Also, I decided to link the breeder guide that Gillen has made, so thank you so much to Gillen for making that guide. And also thank you so much for Lynn helping me with the self-help video here about breeding as well, for anyone that's interested in that department. Alright, so the genderless Pokemon can breed with each other as long as it's within the evolution line. So Magneton can breed with a Magnemite as an example. Now let's dig through the guide itself. So there's the graph that Demonic Dax and Teddy has made for the starter locations. So there you go. So Bulbasaur can be found on Route 5, Charmander can be found in Rock Tunnel, and Squirtle can be found in Seafoam Islands. And I know some people ask this. Squirtle is in the cave, although it's a rare encounter. And I feel funny saying Squirtle because Squirtle can be found in a cave, because Squirtle also happens to be the head game master for PokeMMO. So I would like to thank Squirtle, the head game master, for helping to make this game possible. So thank you so much, Squirtle. Much appreciated. And also, good luck searching for Squirtle the Pokemon. So, good luck. Alright, so Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile, I can discuss them a little later, but they can be found in the Hoenn Safari Zone after you defeat the Elite Four. There's a special section in the Safari Zone. I can get to that a little later. Treecko, Torchic, and Mudkip. Treecko can be found on Route 19, Torchic can be found on Route 12, and Mudkip can be found on Route 20 in the water. Alright, Tortwig can be found in Sendoff Spring, and in order to access Sendoff Spring, you have to complete the Distortion World. In Sinnoh, you have to defeat Giratina, and then you can have access to the Sendoff Spring, which has access to Tortwig. Chimchar can be found in the Valor Lakefront, and it can also be encountered in the grass as well. But it is by the lakefront rather than at the lake itself. It's right by the lake, and it's a rare encounter. And Piplup can also be found in Lake Acuity, but you can surf around Lake Acuity, which should be to the left of Snow Point City, but you're going to need rock climb in order to access that area, and you also need surf. Alright, as for Unova, Snivy can be found at Lost Lorn Forest, which should be east of Nimbasa City, so that should be the forest there. You can also encounter Zaru there, but you have to false swipe for Zaru, because Zaru has the ability Illusion, and you have to be able to break its illusion first in order to see that you're actually encountering Zaru. So yeah, and it has to be in a horde. Tempig can be located in the Twist Mountain, but it's rare. And Oshawott is located at Route 6, which is west of Driftville City. And just surf around Route 6, and it's a rare encounter. Alright, so as for the Generation 2 starters, let's go ahead and get to them. So Chikorita can be found at Square 5 of the Hoenn Safari, so Square 5. In the grass, although it's a rare encounter. Cyndaquil can be found at Area 6, which is just north of Area 5. Area 6 is square. It's a rare encounter in the grass. And Totodile can be found at Area 5 in the water, but it's a rare encounter. Alright, and there's the mossy and icy rock locations. Thanks to Reeves SM, we're able to have them. Now, you may ask about the magnetic locations for Nosepass and Magneton. In Kanto, you can go to the power plant, which is, if you surf at Route 10, that's where the power plant is in Kanto. In Hoenn, the power plant is called the New Mauville in Hoenn, and that is just south of Mauville City. You surf and you can access the Mauville power plant, or the New Mauville. And then in Unova, Unova is at Chargestone Cave. I know I'm going a little bit out of order here, but Chargestone Cave is the charge area in Unova. So Chargestone Cave is the cave just south of Mistraliton City. So that's where Chargestone Cave is. And Mount Cornet is the magnetic place in Sinnoh. So that's where you can evolve Nosepass and Magneton. Alright, there we go. Now let's go ahead and discuss the guide key. I decided to place little icons by the Pokemon, so if you see a Safari Zone Pokeball, then that means that you can encounter this Pokemon in the Safari, either in Kanto or Hoenn. If you see an envelope with grass on it, then you should be able to encounter it at the Great Marsh in Sinnoh, which is at Pastor City. And the Safari Zone in Kanto is located at Fuchsia City, and the Safari Zone in Hoenn is located just west of Lily Cove City. You should see twins and a secret base tree. Just go left of them and you should access a little building there, and that is where the Safari Zone is in Hoenn. And Casino Prize Pokemon, they're labeled by the coin case. Now, there are actually two casino areas, so that's why I had to get two different cases. And this is not a coin case, but I used this icon to represent Sinnoh's casino prizes as well. And then the honey tree method is labeled by a honey car, and the Game Boy with the cables is by NPC Trades, and a little present is gift Pokemon. Alright, and there are all the Pokemon quantities, and probably after this video I may actually insert the coin case guide that I've made with Edness, so thank you so much, Edness, for helping me out with that guide. And I should link that over here so you can take a look at that. And there the brief exchange, and there's the max coin capacity for you in game. Alright, so you're allowed to collect 9,999 coins. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the NPC trades. So here's a list of all the NPC trades, and there's Abra and Mr. Mime. By the way, NPC trades, the Pokemon are locked in your party. They're automatically considered gift Pokemon, but I decided to label the NPC trades just in case you want to document the Pokemon in your PokeDex, so you don't have to catch them. So this can save you a lot of time. The Pokelab especially, because Electrode could use self-destruct, so you don't have to worry about self-destruct if you want to document Electrode here. So there you go, and there's all the NPCs here. And there's the NPC. There are the NPCs in Hoenn. There are all the NPCs in Sinnoh, and there are all the NPCs in Unova. All right, and Route 15, the development team has replaced Rotom with Clang, which is why I scratched out Rotom. If you're not confused, but you can still exchange a Ditto, but the Pokemon won't be a Rotom. All right, and as for Chinchou and Munchlax, you can wait until the summer in order to access that house and talk to a guy by name of Ander, and you should be able to exchange a Chinchino for a Munchlax. Alright, so move lists. So there are the move lists, and I decided to label them all, and there you go. and you can read briefly through this when you pop in the guide. And I decided to list some guides that may be helpful for you, just in case you want certain information. And as for the wild locations, many of them are self-explanatory, so in other words, you can infer where to catch these Pokemon, but as for the special, I decided to list the phenomena types. So there's rustling grass, there's bubbling water, there's a shadow, and there's a dust cloud. If you see phenomena in game, announce it in the global chat, because there's a lot of people that search for phenomena, and you're probably going to get a whole wave of thank you notes. So there you go, you're going to help out a lot of people, because there are some Pokemon you can only encounter via a phenomena. Alright, so evolution tree. So the Pokemon highlighted in yellow is the Pokemon that's being discussed, and the Pokemon that are in black are the Pokemon that are part of the evolution tree. Alright, so there you go. So there's a little gift icon, and but yeah, here's the thing. If you're trying to search, like let's just say you're in game, and this is one of the purposes of this guide. If you're in the game, and if you search in your Pokedex and you're like, you know, I'm trying to search for number, I don't know what the Pokemon's name is, but according to the game, it has a certain Pokedex number. How can I be able to look that up? That's a very good question. You can look that up by, let's go ahead and go all the way up here, and let's go ahead and search for, let's just say, I don't know what number this Pokemon is, but I know I can search for it. So you can search for, as a brief example, number 450. 450 is Hippowdon. Or let's just say, oh, I need help with 330. 330 is Flygon. Alright, and just so happens that 330 is the start-off point. So there you go. So, and there are all the egg groups there, so you can search for the breeders. There's a lot of field Pokemon, so there you go. So you're going to get over, oh wow, you're going to get 170 results. Now let me just say this, if you're breeding for a Pokemon, and if it can breathe through a field egg group, then try to breathe through an egg. Try to breathe through the field egg group. It's going to probably save you a lot of money in game, especially in the global trade link. Yeah, you're going to get over 170 results. Now imagine on the next page. Next page, you're probably going to get more results as well. Field. You're going to get 11 results. So you get a total of 181 results, or 181 Pokemon listed here that are field egg groups. Alright. And I had to split it between 25 Pokemon, and there's some Pokemon that I had to even leave some room, like for the Wormadam and Barmy line, because there are 3 forms and I had to document all 3 of them since they have different type builds. Let's go ahead and go to them right now. They're actually a very special case. So there you go. So that's the Barmy line. And wild location. Yeah, so that's the wild location. You can only encounter the regular Barmy. But I should note this. So Barmy can evolve a female to a Wormadam Sandcloak female if you level it in a desert or beach, and it can evolve into a Trash Cloak female if you level it inside a building. But you have to faint it before evolving. So once it reaches level 20, make sure it faints. Otherwise, this is not going to work. So make sure it faints. And then you have Mothim, which just evolves regularly if it's male. So Barmy is a very special case. So yeah. And Zaru and Zoroark, I decided to put a player tip here. So Zaru will not appear in its normal form due to the illusion ability, which which allows it to cloak itself in a disguised Pokemon. You have to first break the disguised Pokemon, and you can proceed from there. The move False Swipe is recommended for hunting Wild Zaru, because False Swipe only allows the Pokemon to reach 1 HP, and it will never knock out the Pokemon. So that's why a lot of people use False Swipe on their catchers. Alright. And you can also inference chain breeding methods. So in other words, let's just say you want toxic spikes on coughing. How do you get toxic spikes on coughing? Well, Trubbish is a group mineral, and it learns toxic spikes at level 7. Now, most wild Trubbish already have toxic spikes, so what you can do is you can catch a male Trubbish, and then you can catch a female Yonmask and breed it through there, and then it has the egg move toxic spikes. Right there. And then as for coughing, and by the way, make Yonmask male when you breed it, and then you can go to coughing. Make sure you catch a female coughing, and you can breed it, and you can have toxic spikes there as well. So you can also find chain breeding as well. And hopefully this guide can help you out with your troubleshooting. Feel free to explore this guide because this guide may be able to help you out in your troubleshooting. Alright. Last but certainly not least, oh yeah, I went ahead and I put in a brief breeder list, so that way you don't have to search through all the guides. So this is like this is all the Pokemon with their breeder lists from Bulbapedia. Just screenshot and copy and paste. So feel free to, this is like a quick search, but if you want the control find feature, then feel free to duplicate the second page before you go to the first. Also, important detail, Nidoran male and female can have their gender selected, as well as Volbeat and Imus, which means that these two are now connected, so it's much easier to get an Nidoran male and an Nidoran female and a Volbeat and an Imus. It's a lot easier to get those two. And I went ahead and relinked Gillen's breeding guide and the self-fill video that I've made with Lynn. So there we go. Hopefully you can find those resources helpful. Also, last but certainly not least, Legendaries. I know that these days Legendaries you can obtain battle points from. So it's important to know where to catch these Legendaries. So Mewtwo you can catch at Cerulean Cave, and there should be a system announcement the moment that somebody catches it. And the Legendaries in game kind of operate more like King of the Hill scenario. And the King of the Hill scenario is that you battle for Mewtwo, and if you win against the person holding Mewtwo, then that means you get to take the Mewtwo. And if you lose, then that means your opponent takes the Mewtwo away. However, here's where the battle points kick in. If you hold Mewtwo, and if you win the battle with Mewtwo, you get 1,000 battle points. But that is only if you are able to hold on to Mewtwo. So that's a little fun side quest that you can do. So yeah, there's Rayquaza. Rayquaza can be caught at Sky Pillar. The Sinnoh Legendary can be caught over at Spear Pillar. Zekrom can be caught over at Ann's Castle. Although you have to catch it for the story, so technically it's not a King of the Hills sort of situation. But you have to catch it in order to access the story. But you won't be able to keep Zekrom, but Zekrom is certainly a Pokemon that can be used in the battle against N and Genesis. Not to spoil too much, but Zekrom is necessary to access the story. The rest of the story in Unova. But yeah, and Zekrom's going to port into your room. So if you ever miss your Zekrom, just visit your room and you can just hear Zekrom's cry from there. Or you can access the Pokedex and hear its cry from there. And then you have Keldeo, which can be caught at the Moor of Icarus. Although it's a rare encounter, but you can catch it there. and then you can access the King of the Hill sort of situation where you battle people, and you have a system message that you caught Keldeo. Alright, so these are all the implemented legendaries, and if you have any questions about certain Pokedex features, and feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below on either Roy Rogers News or Mara Best Friends. I know I'm going to be uploading this video both on the Roy Rogers News channel and the Mara Best Friends YouTube channel, so feel free to drop a comment down below if you have any questions in relation to this guide. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. This guide has taken months to work on. It really has. And I would like to thank all the people involved for helping me with information formatting. It was quite appreciated. It really is. Thank you. Anyways, this is the Roy Rogers News channel and the Mara Best Friends YouTube channel. Don't forget to comment or subscribe to my channel or channels. Like or dislike the content that you see here. And this is the Roy Rogers News channel and the Mara Best Friends YouTube channel signing off. Fast, accurate, unbiased, Roy Rogers News and PokeMMO Mayor at your service.